Hello, my name is Steve and I'm from Yealink. Today I'm going to introduce to you the latest addition to the Yealink range of high quality, highly featured but low cost SIP endpoint devices. The new device is called the T38 and the main features of the T38 are colour screen and the support of Gigabit Ethernet. Okay, the new unit, the T38G, comes in a coloured gift box, as you can see. And here on the front are the key highlights of the feature. On the rear of the box are listed the main features of the unit. And as you can see from here, the unit features the Texas Instruments Aries chipset, which gives us the high definition quality that everybody expects these days. Also on the back highlights some of the accreditations that the device has. So let's open the box and see what's inside. So first thing out is the unit itself. Then we have the base. Of course we need a handset, a handset cable, Cat5 cable, and whilst the unit supports power over Ethernet, the unit does come with a power supply just in case you've not got power over Ethernet. Some instructions, a CD to load which contains detailed instructions, and a spare label kit for the busy lamp fields. Okay, so now we're going to connect everything together. First thing to note, on the rear of the phone are all of the connections. So here we have the Gigabit Ethernet port, and here we have the connection to a PC, which is a Gigabit Ethernet switch. So if you want to run your computer via the handset, you can do. Here we have the handset port and the headset port, so you can run a headset straight off the unit. We have the power position if you want to use standard power rather than the power over Ethernet. And here is the point for connecting the expansion unit. So if you wanted to have more busy lamp fields, you can connect a box to the side which screws into the unit here to increase the number of busy lamp fields. So let's first connect the base. Okay. So it stands quite nicely. Then we connect the handset cable to the handset, and for this you use the small end, not the long end, because the long end goes into the handset connector port, and then this piece here is fastened here, so the unit sits nicely on the table. Okay. Next thing to do is to connect the power, and as I said, that's not required if you're using power over Ethernet, but it is an option. It goes into there. And then lastly, connect the Cat5 cable or Cat6 cable if you're using Gigabit Ethernet into the internet port. Just before I connect it to the network, I just wanted to show you one final thing, which is the effectiveness of the rubber feet, or the anti-slip rubber feet. So as you can see, when you're on the phone, you can quite easily walk around the office. Once the unit's assembled, we can now connect it to the network. I have here a power over Ethernet switch, so I actually don't need the power supply, so I'm going to disconnect that. The network cable is connected into the port marked internet, and then the other end goes straight into the PoE switch. And as you can see, it immediately powers up. So once the unit is connected to the network, we can then look to program the settings. There are two ways of doing that. We can either use the computer or we can use the handset itself from the menu key. First, I'll show you how to configure the unit from the handset. So using the phone to make the configuration, here is the menu key, and then using the arrows we can move across to the required settings. So to configure an account on the system, we go into settings and either press enter or OK. In this window there are two types of settings: basic settings, things like setting the language, time and date, format, whether you're going to get the time off the DHCP server, varying your ringtones. But to configure an account you need to go into the advanced settings. And of course, because it's configuring an account, it requires a password. The default password is admin. So using the keys A, D, M, G, H, I, M, N, and then confirm. So to configure an account, we obviously go into accounts, and then you select one of the 6 options. So obviously account 1 first. So you then enable the account, and then moving down you enter all of the required settings using the keys until you get to the end, when we just press save. Other things that can be configured include things in the application, the digital phone frame, so you can now select different images. So once the handset has been idle for a while, the screensaver kicks in, and this is where the true benefit of the colour screen comes, because as you can see the pictures are extremely high quality. So now I will show you how to configure the phone using the computer. So to configure the device from your computer, the first thing you need to do is establish the IP address of the phone. To do that you press the OK button. And as you can see now, the phone has been given an internal 192 IP address. So you just enter that address into your browser. First thing you are asked is to authenticate yourself. So the username is admin and the default password is also admin. And here we are into the menus. So this first menu is the status menu, confirms the current version of firmware of the unit, hardware, and gives you some information about how the device is registered to the network. So to configure an account, we hit the account tab. From here we can decide which account we want to configure. Obviously the first one would be account 1. We can enable the account. Then we have various options. The label is what is seen on the actual device to identify the button. So I might call that Steve's. The display name is what's sent when I make a call from this phone to somebody else. So again, I'll have Steve here. Then the register name, which will be provided by your network administrator. And then there are several other options, but for this account that's all that is required. So now I enter confirm. And then the status of that account shows registered. and on the display on the actual handset itself you can see on account 1 it's registered. Once the account is configured, we are then free to make a call. The unit supports hands-free dialing, so the first call I'll make will be using the hands-free feature. So we just enter the required number and the send button.
Hello?
Oh hi, Andy, it's Steve speaking. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Were you making a video?
I am, yes. Just hang on there one sec, because I want to show the people that we can switch from hands-free working to handset if we need to. Hello? Good. And then we can always go back as well. So pressing the handset key. Can you hear me again?
Yeah, back in hands-free, I guess.
Excellent. Thank you.
Alright, bye.
So that brings us to the end of this introduction of the Yealink SIP-T38G. I hope you found the product of interest. It's now readily available from all of the distributors. Thank you for watching.